Hey YouTube, how are we doing? Welcome back to my channel. I am Tommy, and today we are chasing sunsets. In an unusual turn of fate, I ended up having to come back to work this afternoon, so I'm actually at work this evening. Is it Inner Demons over there? So anyway, I've come out for a little jolly this evening. I've got a little series I want to do over the summer where I'll visit some nice beauty spots and take in a lovely sunset and show you what's what here on the island. But first, I've got to visit briefly Ride Bike Night, which is just down here by the canoe lake. Because I'm actually meeting a holiday maker who's got in touch with me, and we were due to meet up tomorrow and go for a ride, which we're still planning to do. But since I'm out and about on the bike, I thought I'd pop through because I told him to go to Ride Bike Night. So I'm just going to make my way there now and pick up with you when I get back on the bike and go seeking sunsets. Okay, well, that was fun. I've just been to Ride Bike Night and met up with a guy called Orba. The guy's got his fishing rods on his bike there. So anyway, we've just headed back. He's staying somewhere near Sandown, so I've just dropped him off down there. And I'm just going to head to Shanklin. So whilst I'm in search of sunsets, generally there's not much of a sunset in Sandown because there's a big headland in the way when the sun goes down. So I'm going to head down there and show you what it's like anyway during like dusk. Is this dusk? Is that what you call it? So we're going to have a little jolly down to Shanklin, and then we're going to have a ride along the seafront in Sandown, and then we're going to have a wander up to the top of Culver Down, which overlooks the whole of Sandown and Shanklin and beyond, and we should get up there just in time for a bit of a sunset. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's a bit of a rushed ride today. It's a real last minute decision to pop out. So as the summer progresses and the evenings are longer, I'll head out further and further and take you to some really exotic places you wouldn't even find when you're on holiday. So stay with me, and I'll hook up with you again when we get into Shanklin. It's nice down there. Okay, well, back we are heading just down to Shanklin seafront, and this is one of the worst roads in the whole of Britain. It is awful. Oh, luckily I've got my COC custom Springer seat. Anyway, this is going to take us on a little cascading road down to the seafront. There used to be a lot happening during Victorian times. This was a hive of activity, but not so much these days, and particularly since I think it was sometime in the late 80s there was a giant storm and Shanklin lost its pier. So that was a bit of a shame. They never rebuilt it, obviously, because when anything good goes, it just stays gone these days, doesn't it? So we're going to head down into Shanklin now. There is lots of other cool stuff to do down here. Great you can probably just see it there, dinosaur crazy golf. It is fantastic, and there's also a pirate course as well a little bit further along, which is great fun. That's definitely, I think, the best crazy golf course on the island, and we play quite a lot of it in our family. So this is Shanklin. I suppose this is the most holiday-y place on the island, really, like town-wise, I suppose. I don't know, if you disagree, do let me know in the comments, because I am bound to be wrong. Those perilous cliffs up there. And this that you can see just in the distance shooting up out of the back of this building is a lift, a cliff lift, which takes you from the top of the cliff down to the bottom. Again, another relic from, I think, Victorian times, but obviously modernised to look as disgusting as possible. And that is the best fish and chip shop probably on the island. Delicious, but quite expensive. But if you're on holiday here, definitely check that out. Absolutely delicious. And absolute haven for geriatrics on coach holidays. Hope you're having a nice time. Come from all over the place. And obviously lots of empty buildings, because it wouldn't be Isle of Wight without empty buildings, would it? Like all this lot, owned by the council. It's been derelict. I've never ever known that to be open or anything. And this little structure just here is where the pier sort of rutted out into the sea, but no longer, so some sort of memorial or something now. People rowing in the sea. Not seen that before. Actually, despite all the dereliction down here, there is lots of lovely thriving businesses as well. Very nice pubs with a nice view. And we've come to the end here. Those cliffs just further on head all straight around to a place called Luckham and onto Ventnor, where you've been with me before. But this is as far as we can get. There's a little roundabout, so I'll come round and head back, and we'll head along Sandown seafront. Nice, lovely place for a walk down there. And this is Culver Cliff in the distance, which is where we'll be heading up in a second. Right, let's get back along here. Posh flats, nice. Reversing. I wonder if he knows I'm it. Oh, lots of savage speed bumps. I think you get all the boy racers down here. It's quite a tasty Mustang. But unfortunately, due to those cliffs, not much of a sunset. I don't know whether there's going to be much of one today, but I'm going to have a try, and I'll take you up Culver Down, as I say, which is just over there. It's got a lot of significance during World War II, which I will tell you all about when we get up there. Okay, next stop is Sandown seafront. I would just like to say, actually, hello to a few old school friends and people I know who have stumbled upon my YouTube channel. 3, I think it is now, who have just stumbled across my channel. So first, it was Anthony Mudkins. So if you're watching, Anthony, thanks for watching. School guy, I suppose it was a school friend. Can't really remember, it was a long time ago, but never had any beef with Anthony, so all good. So thanks for watching. Who was the next one? That was Large. My friend Lee Gregory from the bike shop in Bude started learning to ride, so he stumbled upon my CBT video, I think it was, and that's quite funny. And the other day I had a message from a guy that I went to, help if I was in gear, a guy that I went to school with, Tom Wilson. So if you're watching, Mr. Wilson, thanks for that. I don't know why I call him Mr. Wilson. It's my mate, Tom Wilson. All right. Right, I'm going to shut up for a bit. I'll see you when we get in Sandown. So we've just passed through Sandown town, which is fairly uninviting, if I'm honest with you. Down to the seafront, which is a plethora of hotels. I'm sure I've brought you down here before, to be honest, but this has got a very nice view. Again, with Culver view just down Culver Cliffs, Culver view just down the other end just there. And you know, it's sad, but the usual dereliction again. This hotel, the Ocean Hotel, I've probably mentioned it before, keeps getting set on fire, you know, one of those ones. So that's a shame, but it is an eyesore. Let's get rid of that indicator. Whoa. What a waste. interspersed with nice stuff. It's just weird. So actually Sandown is on the up, I would say. So a lot going for it, and certainly a lot of room for improvement there. So I'm just going to turn right here. And this is Sandown seafront on the way to Yaverland. Not very inviting, I've got to be honest, but it is a nice place. It's unfortunately, I think, the people that own the buildings that is the problem rather than the buildings. So if you're into your boats and shipping and all that sort of stuff, this is a great place to come on your holiday, because you get to see all of the tankers, oil tankers, container ships shooting along here in the Solent, heading into Southampton docks, and also all the big cruise ships and magnificent ships go past. I'm not into ships in any way, shape or form, but you cannot help but be impressed with them. This is a dinosaur museum. It's really boring. You are much better off visiting Brown's Gulf just here, which is a lovely building. And actually I'm a season ticket holder there, so I play golf there every Saturday. And it's just a pitch and putt. That's the level I'm at. You don't want to see me on a proper golf course. So yeah, I play there with my family on a Saturday, and it's lovely. And that also has some historical significance, because that building that you just saw, I think that was the building, housed the pumps for the pipeline under the ocean, the Pluto project, which pumped oil to I think France and Germany during the war. Was from the Isle of Wight. So again, lots of history here during the war, a lot of which again I mentioned we'll see when we get up Culver Down. It is chilly today, and don't tell anyone, it has been raining a little bit while I've been out riding, and as you well know, I do not ride in the rain. But I didn't have a choice today because I was out already in it, so I don't mind that. But it is chilly. See the road's wet here, it's been raining quite a bit here. Okay, so we're almost at the foot of Culver Down. You can just see the road that shoots up over there, and it is at the best of times a sketchy junction. If you're turning right into the road like I am here, the entrance is just behind this road here, this bend here, which is on a national speed limit road. So if you have to stop for any reason, very dodgy. I'm going to indicate there's no one behind me anyway. But this does get busy, this road, particularly in the holiday season. And if you're coming from the other direction, you have to double back on yourself, and it's really difficult to do, particularly when you're quite a new rider. So let's dart across here. And mind the sketchy, wet cattle grid. Not a problem. And this is a magnificent bit of road, actually. I don't know why they don't do a hill climb up here, because it goes on and on for a little bit anyway. Poor choice of gears. And I'll tell you a funny story, actually. I was driving up here once upon a time in my Corrado VR6, a Volkswagen Corrado VR6. Do you remember them? And the heater matrix blew up in my face as I was driving along here, which could have gone quite bad, because once you start going over there you're not stopping, but I did manage to pull it to a stop and get all the steam and water out of my face, and all was good. But that was a scary experience. This is lovely up here. This is where we're hoping to get our sunset. But first of all, let's go to the end. This just here is Bembridge Fort. So this is Sandown and Shanklin. Just the other side we've got Bembridge and St Helens, and this was Bembridge Fort during the war, and had all sorts of gun placements and ammunition stores and all that kind of stuff. I'll stick some stuff down below once I've had a proper look. There's in fact a sign there, so if I get time a bit later I'll stop and get a little recording of that. luckily it's free parking up here and there's loads of it, so there's always somewhere to stop, and it also makes for some fantastic photo opportunities. So I'm going to ride along to the end and show you some nice views, and also find somewhere nice to try and do a little time lapse for the sunset. It is a blue sky, so we should get a bit, hopefully a nice one. And then I've got a little party trick perhaps up my sleeve for the ride in the dark back to my unit. And as you well know, I've only ever ridden in the dark once before on my 125. Do not very often ride in the evening, that is for sure, but I shall be doing so over the summer. Another dodgy cattle grid just here, and some sort of monument. Can't remember what that's about, but I would not mind living in one of these houses. I think they're the old Coast Guard cottages. And if you're peckish, a nice Broozer right at the top here. Lovely. Sheep do not like my exhaust. And as we approach the end of the fort, it will probably become quite clear to you what this has got to do with the war. But before we get that, we've got a lovely view of Bembridge and St Helens and beyond. So we'll have a quick stop there and see what's what. And you can see it used for donut practice by the local youths. Right, let's jump off. Do excuse any heavy breathing. Okay, so this is Bembridge just down here. You can't quite see it, but there's a lifeboat station that's out on stalks that goes into the sea just there, which is really cool. Obviously lots of holiday destinations. In actual fact, this is Bembridge Airport just here, and about 3 weeks ago an airplane took off here and then had some engine troubles and crashed into a house and the caravan park just over here. So that made the national news and elsewhere. But this is Bembridge Airport. Over here is the embankment over towards St Helens. And that's where my workshop is, just over there. And you can see Gunwharf Quays, Gunwharf Tower, I think it is. Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth, just over there, perhaps, if the camera will pick that up. And Ryde Church, you can just see the spire over there. But it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a sunset, so I'm going to whiz around the other side where you can see it and take it all in. Look at that beauty. Okay, and here we are heading back off of Culver Down. I'm going to go and find somewhere nice to do a sunset time lapse. But basically these are gun emplacements during the World War II. As you can imagine, just the other side of that is a sheer cliff really, and you can see all of the ships and anything that might be heading towards the Great Britain, basically, who are up to no good during the war. So excellent vantage point here with giant cannons on here, giant guns, sorry. And there's another one, or perhaps another couple up here as well, and just bonkers. But obviously gone derelict and all that now, taking the guns out. But an interesting piece of history. Let's keep going. Go and find somewhere nice for a sunset.
your truth, and good will come to you. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home.
Well, that is it for Culver Down, and what a lovely place it is too. So yeah, I'm just going to head back, and this will be the first time I've actually ridden the bobber when it's getting a little bit dark, and I have heard that these exhausts spit flames. So I have set up my Insta360 camera. There's not much in the way of space to fit the camera on the bike that will get the exhaust in shot, so I've had to fashion it from the back, and it will just reach around my leg, and hopefully we can get some action on the twisties on my way back to my workshop, all being well. So let's get on with it. It might still be a little bit too light, but I'll have a go. But take in that view. If you're on holiday here, definitely come and check out Culver Down. It's beautiful. Okay, let's get out of here. Just got to get out of this dodgy turning now. Typically got cars in front of me. Wait for a gap in the traffic. Let's do it. wonder if we caught any flames just then. Let's have to wait until I get home and look at the footage. Hopefully, be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Get a little snap of that. Right, let's get back to my workshop. Almost back at my unit now, and I just thought I would mention actually that time lapse I had to go at. It's the first time I've ever done a time lapse on a action camera, which I use on my bike here. So unfortunately, it would only record for 10 minutes at a time, so I had to do it in like 4 slots. So it's a little bit messy, and it will move around a little bit because it was not on a tripod. So I've learned a few lessons there. One, take a tripod so I can keep it in the same position consistently. And secondly, try and figure out how to get it to film for more than 10 minutes, because each 10 minutes is whittled down to about 10 seconds worth of film. So you have to keep it going for a little bit, and 10 seconds is not a lot, is it? So I'm going to definitely figure that out, and I'm sure you can do it on the DJI Action 5 Pro, but if not, I'll have to dig out one of my old GoPros, because I'm pretty certain they do it. Anyway, look, what a lovely evening. Got a little bit rained on earlier, which I was a bit annoyed about, but it has turned into a lovely evening, and we did get a lovely sunset. Look at that. I love riding early in the morning and later on at night. The roads are quiet, it's generally still, and it's just lovely. And you have a sunrise and sunsets. God, I sound like a right old man, don't I? Anyway, let's get back. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and give us a comment and let me know what you thought of Culver Down and Shanklin and Sandown, and give us a like, because I always like that. But until next time,
catch you later.